Dan Soder on, and Dan Soder decided to roast Andrew Schulz and Mark Norman and Shane Gillis, and I found the overall conversation very interesting. So I'm going to play this to give you my thoughts on it. But afterwards, I want to get your thoughts on the general conversation they had. But the roasting part was pretty funny by Dan Soder. So let's go ahead and see what he had to say.
We'll do the tour, and the tour will be such a fucking hit that we won't be able to
I have a number.
What's your number?
If I had in the bank, and this is crazy, but if I had $20 million,
yeah,
you don't need to see me again.
Yeah.
What do I need to talk to you about?
Give me 5.
Honestly, dude,
give me 5.
20 was always like the thing in my head.
Yeah.
But as we get older, give me 700,000.
Yeah, every year that number comes down. Okay. So
what are taxes in the county?
Where were we again in this conversation?
There is a feeling of no one goes away, so everything is shitty because everything's like losing its tread. Everything, like, they're making so much money that they're like, I'm back out on the road. I'm doing theaters again. And you're like, I know for a fact you made $40 million.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking about that's going to connect with a guy that got fired from Best Buy?
You're not going to be able to.
Like, this guy's like, I mean, it's like the wealth disparity is so much now that comics love to talk about how much money they make. There's going to start being like, it's going to start being like Hunger Games, where people are like, I can kidnap them.
Yeah.
Like the way they do in Colombia with soccer players. They're going to start kidnapping comics.
Yeah, you guys should probably be a little quieter about how much you make.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Jonathan and I can be very loud because we're squeaking back.
Yeah. Don't go to a green room and be like, yeah, just get yourself a nanny.
But you just see him and they go,
a nanny. What's the problem? Go back on the road.
You just see him, they go like, did it again.
Yeah.
$90,000 a month on Patreon.
Yeah.
You go,
yeah.
You're going to get this Sonola cartel up.
Yeah. Be quiet, dude. There's people who will kidnap you.
I'm telling you right now, a couple bad breaks.
Yeah.
I'm kidnapping Andrew Schulz. I'm taking Tim Dillon. Give me that money.
Yeah, I got 4 boys. Both. I got 4. Take both.
I got 4 boys in Aurora that aren't doing so hot and are crack shots. I will rent a car in Wyoming, and then the next thing you know, they're like, "We're sorry, couldn't do a new episode of Tim Dillon podcast because he's been reported missing." Dude, I've said it before on podcasts, but I already have the voice for it.
Yeah, for the kidnap, yes.
Oh my God, when Mark Norman's like, what do you want? And I'm like, put the money in the fucking bag. If you ever want to see Joe List again, put your fucking money in the bag. You kidnapped me. Get the fuck down on the ground. Soder. And you're like, I know. I should have started a YouTube channel years ago. I got to the clip game way too late. Get the fuck down on the ground.
Too late.
Get the fuck down on it. I thought just being good at stand-up would fucking sap ass.
I love how you're doing clips now. I could clearly tell it's somebody doing them for you because they come out like clockwork. They come out like,
dude.
Yeah.
And
I know you're just not a clip guy.
An agent had to be like, hey,
Dan.
And I went like this. Well, all right. The game ain't what it used to be. God damn, dude. It's just like,
you just took your cards and put them on the table.
I said this legitimately to Katie this morning. I go, God, I wish I was a comic in the 90s. You just had to like be really, really funny.
Yeah.
And then get on like Conan.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
And we came up that way. And then now they're like, do you interview people as they get discharged from the hospital with a tiny microphone? Where I'm like, what did they cut off? And they're like, I had a tumor. And I'm like, sounds spicy. And then it's like 2 million on TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't want to have abs.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened to being funny?
Yeah.
I learned how to do silly voices.
Yeah.
Isn't that enough?
It's enough. It should be enough.
Well, guess what?
Yeah.
You're going to see me like fucking Sicario. I'm going to come in with a skull mask on and fucking kidnap people we know. When Schulz and his boy are banging on chairs, I'm coming in with a fucking laser sight. Where he's like, you him in the fucking surround. And they go, damn! And then they, you know how all the clips have the picture of them being like, it's just me with a face covering and a fucking bag of money. I'm telling you, I'm coming for all you rich motherfuckers. I'm from Colorado. That's militia country. You think I've been jumping over logs? The only person I won't rob is Shane because I love him too much.
Yeah.
And he's going to have a militia waiting for him.
This is fucking gay. What
He'd be like,
dude?
He'd be like, dude, you're gay.
You're fucking gay.
And I'd be like, yeah.
You're fucking gay. This is
He'd be like,
gay.
dude, fucking stop.
Fucking gay.
You're gay.
I feel like it's, anything you do, you're like, fucking gay.
And I just put the gun down. I go, yeah.
Yeah, this is gay.
Yeah. Oh my God.
God, it made me laugh because.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, but you know.
But it's also like, I am happy for all those guys.
Yeah.
But there becomes a point where you watch everyone get rich and you go like, God, you need an opener or anything?
Well, we're joking. You're doing great. I mean, you're making a lot of money.
I'm great.
Yeah.
I'm doing all right. I'm not making like a lot of money, but I'm okay.
You're doing good.
I still
can be funny.
I still go to restaurants and wonder if I could work a lunch shift there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to remember that Dan Soder, by his own words, frequents the Fighter and the Kids subreddit a lot. So that's probably where he picked up on the Andrew Schulz overlapping thing. But, yeah, so we learned from that black comedian who I think has that podcast on Tom Segura's YouTube channel that all these stand-up comedians behind the scenes talk a lot of crap about each other. It seems like they also brag about how much money they're making. And I like Soder's point of, if I was making that much money, you wouldn't see me. But I get their thing about it too. If they're making boatloads of money, why not continue to make boatloads of money? Schulz is making boatloads of money. Everyone's making money except for Brendan Schaub. I mean, Brendan Schaub's the only one losing money, but Brendan Schaub isn't a real stand-up and no one watches his podcast. But apparently these guys, all they do is just brag about the amount of money that is being made. Now, Soder left the bonfire apparently to do more stand-up, and he said he really wanted to get into writing. I'm assuming that he's got a gig or lined up to be like a writer on a TV show or like a showrunner or something, because why would you leave that show if you didn't already have that out? I mean, that worked out in advance. So, but he's still doing the podcasting thing, like going on other people's and stuff. How much money are they? I know Schulz is making a boatload of dough. Norman is. Tim Dillon is. They must be making a lot of money, millions upon millions, because not only do they have the success of their podcast, they also go get stand-up money. So they got the podcast, they're always on the road, they're doing like arenas too, in theaters at least. And Brendan Schaub, no one watches his podcast, and he can't sell out crappy comedy clubs. Oh my God. And you know, less than 10 years ago, that was the reverse. Brendan Schaub was the one with the huge podcast. And Brendan Schaub used to say, my sellout shows. And then everyone surpassed him. Now all their podcasts are big, and they do huge sellout arenas, and Brendan Schaub does nothing. Somehow I turned this into hating Brendan Schaub, and I don't even know how. But, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments, especially about everything Dan Soder talked about, not just about Andrew Schulz overlapping, which I think, by the way, he's always done. So I never really had that much of a problem with it, but let me know your thoughts in the comments.